My guest today was the victor in the opening bout on last Friday night's ESPN Friday Night Fights from Foxwoods Resort and Casino in Mashantucket, Connecticut. Thomas the Soldier Falowo. You and your amateur nemesis took it to the pro ranks. And first, before we get to Friday night, describe your memories of your 5 amateur fights where he won the first 4, but you took the last one. What do you remember about it?
We actually fought 4 times in the amateurs.
Okay.
Twice in the Golden Gloves, he outboxed me in Lowell, where he did, where you just pretty pat and run and he boxed. He outboxed me, though. I'll give him the fight. He won those. And then the other 2 fights, I fought him in Maine, in USC's, and I outworked him both times. The first time I clearly thought I won the fight. They gave him the fight. And the second time I beat him even more convincingly. And I finally got the decision in his hometown.
Yeah.
So in the amateurs, my record on the books was 1-3 against him. I thought it should have been 2-2, but it's not something that I was going to really debate about.
Yeah, so they got the information wrong. I heard you guys fought 5 times. It was 4, and he took the first 3, and you feel like you won 2 of them. You feel like you won the...
Yeah, second and the fourth. I felt like I won the second and the fourth, but the only fight that they gave me was the fourth, but that was the most important one.
Yeah. And you were able to take solace in knowing that you won the last one, but knowing you dropped the rivalry, how was your mindset in going out here on Friday night where it was for all the marbles, a big TV audience and lots of energetic fans in attendance, pretty much split down the middle? How were you feeling going out for that fight?
I felt great. The way this camp went, the preparation, just mentally where I was at, I felt very comfortable. And I knew where I was at, and I wanted to see where he was at for the fight. I knew where I was at. I felt very comfortable leading up and at the fight.
How do you make the game plan for the fight in the pro ranks? Do you watch video? Does Peter Manfredo, your great trainer, make the plan? Do you watch videos? How do you formulate the plan to fight in the pro ranks against Russell Lamour?
I did watch some video. There wasn't too much on them. They had some from that World Series of Boxing tournament, and then there was one fight where he fought Joey Garner that they had posted on there. So there wasn't too much video to go from. There was things that we've seen from that we knew we felt we can capitalize on, and also just we're from the same area, and I talked to a lot of people that have seen him fight in person, and things that they noticed that he made mistakes on that he can capitalize off of.
Mm-hmm. And take me through that fight. You come out for round number 1. You could see that he liked distance and you liked it in close. And for the first 3 rounds, it was back and forth, close rounds. But in the 3rd round, I could start seeing there was a swelling starting over his left temple area around his eye. Did you notice that too? And what did you get from the first 3 rounds of the fight?
I didn't notice the swelling on his face on any of the marks until after the fight, when he was standing there waiting for the decision. Then I started to notice a bit of the marks or anything on his face. But during the fight, I'm just typically more of a slower starter in general. So once I really get warmed up, that's when I feel like my punch output raises. And after like the 2nd round or so, that's when I start to get comfortable. And once I get my rhythm, I just try to keep it going from there.
Yeah, being a slow starter, it could be dangerous when you're not going 10 and 12 rounds. When you're going just 4, 6, or 8 rounds and you're giving away early rounds, that could be dangerous playing with that on the scorecards. What do you do to start to begin fighting and get in your rhythm sooner? Do you do anything at all, or do you just wait till it comes to you?
We do a good amount of warming up between me and my coach in the back before the fight with the focus mitts and shadow boxing, etc. And during the fight, though, I usually try to, the first round or 2, throw as much punches as I can, because I'm very confident in my conditioning. So even if I throw 80 punches around for the first 2 rounds, I feel like I can keep that output up throughout the fight. And I just have to break through that initial tiredness. And once I get my second win, I feel like I could go on and continue from there on.
Mm-hmm. And he landed a big left hook at about 2 minutes into the 4th round. How much did that sting?
I I felt it was clear that I rocked him, but I was just thinking at that point that I didn't want to be over anxious and jump on him and end up maybe possibly getting clipped, because that's what I did with Chapman. I felt like I hurt Chapman in the 4th round. I went to jump on him right after that, and I in turn got clipped myself and went down. So that's what I was thinking, like trying to land some shots on him, but try not to get caught with anything stupid.
Yeah, so my question to you was, he landed a left hook on you, and maybe you didn't feel it at all. You didn't? Did you feel it? Because it looked like he kind of caught you good in the 4th round before you landed a big right hand yourself. Like a minute later, after he landed a nice left hook on you, and it looked like he got your attention. About a minute later, you landed a big right hand on him, and it looked like it did more damage than his left hook did. Did you feel anything when he landed his left hook?
The left hook, no. I noticed that the cloud difference of like the ND, like I said, it was a split cloud. So when he landed that shot, I heard the crowd go crazy, and I was just thinking, like, all right, I got to get him back, kind of. But was I hurt at all? No. There was no point during the fight where I was rocked or dazed or anything, or really felt the force of the punches.
Yeah, you did answer back with your big right hand, like I said, a minute later, about there. And at that point, at the end of the 4th round, did you feel like you had control at that point?
There wasn't really much. The 6th round was probably the only round that I felt that I wasn't in control. I felt like I had pretty good control over the fight. Even in the first couple rounds where he was able to box, to go between boxing and fighting on the inside with me, I never really felt out of control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To a certain extent. There might have been close rounds where he might have gotten around, but I didn't feel like it was any dramatic difference.
Yep. And you're still young, and you're still learning on the job, learning to pace yourself and all the things that a young fighter is trying to learn. Did you feel in about the 6th round, I say, that you did hit a wall? Because you seemed to tire for a moment in the 6th round, and pretty much only in the 6th round in retrospect, but at the point, it looked like you were getting tired in the 6th round. Not that you didn't have your own and land your own good shots too, but it just seemed like momentum turned towards his way. Did you feel like you were kind of hitting a wall in the 6th round there?
Yeah, for the first half of the 6th round, I'm not sure. Like, it definitely threw me off, and it took me off a bit that I felt a bit tired. But it did hit me a little bit in the 6th round. And probably through the round, I was just mentally was able to think, like, I know I'm in shape to do 8 rounds. I've done it plenty of times in sparring. I've done 9-10 rounds in sparring and been good. So during the first half of the round, I did feel that. But at the end of the round, I was able to mentally just push through that and get my 3rd win.
Yeah, and in round 7, you did take the momentum back, and you fought with a sense of urgency. Did you feel like it was getting away from you? Did you feel like it might be close on the scorecards, or did you feel like you had pretty much the control going into that round? Did you feel like on the scorecards you were okay and safe too?
I felt like it was a pretty close fight at that point. At the 6th round, my trainer got on me a bit because he saw that I took it a little lighter that round. So my trainer really got on me in the corner after that round and said, "Look, this fight's close. I feel like you're winning this fight, or it could be a draw, but you really need to pick it up." And he really gave me a hell of a motivational speech after that round that helped me to push through that and pick it up for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah. Do you need that in your trainer? Do you need a trainer who gets in your face, or do you like a patient and calm corner?
I'm an emotional fighter. That's just who I am as a fighter. I'm an emotional fighter. So having a trainer like mine, Manfredo, it definitely pushes me, and motivates me to go harder.
Mm-hmm. And you pulled it out. You raked them with body shots and uppercuts, overhand rights, and you won that round, the 7th round, pretty easy. And he clearly looked uncomfortable going into that final round in the 8th round. How good were you feeling going into the last round?
I felt good, and I felt like it was a close fight, but I knew I had to take those last 2 rounds to really solidify the win, which I felt like I knew I could do. And starting in maybe the 7th round, I guess the 6th round he thought that he was going to do more damage to me, and I was going to go downhill from there. Because after like the 7th round, I could hear him grunting with almost every body shot and shot I landed. I heard him grunting. So I could tell the shots was starting to get to him a bit.
Yeah, and round 8, both of you came out looking tired. That's why I asked you how you felt at the end of the round, the 7th round, because you both looked like you kind of hit a wall. How tired were you in that last round? And did you feel at that point that you had to win that round absolutely to get the decision?
Yeah, I've been on the bad end of decisions before, so I wanted to try to get every round in the bank on my end as I could. So going into that last round, that was a major round where if he would have took that fight and he would have ended strong, there's a good chance that I thought they may have given him the fight. So I felt very much so that I had to win that last round. But tiredness, I don't see the 6th round. The first half of that 6th round was the only time I was tired in the fight. After the 7th, I felt good.
Yeah, and I had you up. I'm sorry. Did I? Do you want to continue?
No, I was saying, yeah, going into the 8th round, I really didn't feel any fatigue at all. I mentally and physically caught my 3rd win, and I was just picking it up from there, I felt.
Yeah, and at the end of 8 rounds, I had you up 78-74. Not that there weren't any close rounds that could have went to Russell, but it seems to me that you were usually the one that I'd rather be at the end of the round. Some people at ringside in the media had it a draw. I didn't talk to anyone who actually had Russell Lamour winning, but there were others that had you winning the fight too. So no controversy as to you winning the fight. But were you nervous waiting for the decision?
Yes, I was a little bit nervous. I very much so felt I won the fight, and I knew I won the fight. But when it goes down to decisions, I had a fight when I fought Samuel Clarkson. I knew I won that fight, and they gave him that decision. And with Chapman, that fight was close enough to where it could have went either way, so I didn't know if I was going to get it or not. But this fight, I felt I won the fight. I knew I won the fight, but because those other ones, I was still a little bit nervous. And going against an undefeated fighter, the judges usually tend to lean toward him a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. And it was a huge win on Friday night. It brings your record to a really good, but not the gaudiest of records. You have a working class record, and you're working to get better all the time with your great trainer, Peter Manfredo. But the win brought your record to 13-3, 8 knockouts. Where do you feel you're at right now?
I feel I'm not where I want to be. I do have more losses than I would want, but I just at a point in my career where every fight's a must-win fight. I can't afford to lose, so I have to go out there and give it 100% every fight. But I'm just looking to progress and just continue to add wins to my record. So I'm happy with where I'm at. I just know that I'm at a point where I can't lose again. If I lose again, I'm officially an opponent. Some people looked at me as an opponent for this fight. My last fight, I know I was looked at as an opponent too. But it's at that was a crossroads fight for me, and I needed that win, and I got it.
Yeah, you got a good record. It's not the absolute greatest record, but all roads are different, and there's been many great fighters who lost their first fight or lost even their first 2 or didn't get a win for a while and went on to have great Hall of Fame careers. So you're in a good place right now, and you're coming off a big win that puts you in a good place and even mentally for yourself. And boxing is a mental and a physical sport. And it depends on who you ask where the percentage is physical versus mental. Mentally, like I said, this is a great feeling for you, and you could only get better from here. What percent of boxing do you think is mental compared to physical? How important is the mental part, and what's the percentage of that compared to physical?
Mental? It's definitely over 50%, I would say. I feel like it's over 50% mental, because leading up to a fight, it's not only physical, but it's very much so that mental roller coaster leading up to a fight is unlike anything else. Knowing that you're going to stand in there and fight with somebody in front of thousands of people, even like thousands of millions of people, it's a crazy mentally. I don't know if I can give a direct percentage, but I would say it's definitely over 50% mental. At least 60-65% mental.
Yeah. And you and Russell Lamour know each other well. Were there any words after the decision was announced? Did you talk to each other at all?
No, we didn't really talk to each other. We just kind of just shook hands and said good play to each other and went our own ways.
Mm-hmm. And you guys fought all those times in the amateur ranks. Do you think this is only the first time you meet in the pro ranks? Do you think it's going to be a pro rivalry too?
I'd be down to fight again. I'm not sure how he feels about it. I'm pretty sure it was close enough to where he may want to take it again, but I don't think that for his next fight that's going to be something that's going to happen. But I think it's definitely something that's a possibility that happens down the line.
And Peter Manfredo was asked about his feeling towards you, and he said you're the nicest kid he ever trained, you're never in trouble, and you don't even cuss. Now, you got into it a little bit, but describe your relationship with him, not only as far as boxing goes, but as a man-to-man kind of relationship. Describe your relationship with Peter.
He is a great trainer and a great man, and he's a good friend of mine. And I've been with him for 11 years, and I've seen like other fighters go between trainers in different gyms and stuff like that. But who I am as a fighter and as a man, I feel like is very compatible with him, and I really couldn't see myself fighting for anybody else. Like I said, not just because of the training aspect, but because of the personal aspect. I couldn't see myself with anybody else other than Pete. He's a great person. He has a lot of friends, a lot of good connections. He has a lot of friends, and he knows what he's doing in this sport.
Yep. And you've been staying busy. Actually, your fight before Friday night was 5 months, and that was 5 months before that, and that was your longest layoff. You like to be active. When do you want to be in the ring again?
I want to be in the ring hopefully within the next 2 months, 2 to 3 months. I don't want to go 5 months, 4 or 5 months again. If I can get in there in 2 months again, I'll be good. Because, I just want to stay busy, and I want to, that fight, like I said, mentally it meant a lot, and that definitely drives me on to want to go and get more and get better. And even though I won, I still have a lot of progressing to do. So I'm looking forward to trying to make the adjustments and getting back in there and trying those changes.
And I love fighters who love to be in the ring and love to be in the ring as much as possible. And I know I'm not alone there. A lot of people love fighters who actually love to do it and don't just fight once or twice a year. We like people who like to do what they do, and you could see the passion in you on Friday night. And more people saw you on Friday night fights than for any of your previous fights, and I knew your fan base grew immensely. How do people keep up with you on the social networks? I'm sure you're on them. You're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let the people know how they could follow you.
Yeah, my Facebook is just under my name, Thomas Falowo. And then my Twitter and my Instagram are both just T Falowo. TFALOWO. Yes.
Yes,
I have all three: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You could follow him there. I know there's a lot of people wanting to. Thomas the Soldier Falowo, coming off the biggest win of his pro career on Friday night, where he and amateur nemesis, amateur rival, and maybe future pro rival, who knows, Russell Lamour, they opened up a great night of boxing by going toe-to-toe from the opening bell, and a fight that Thomas, in my eyes, won impressively, and he looks to be on his way, and I look forward to seeing you again, and hopefully it'll be televised and not too long away, so I can't wait to see you in the ring and looking to see you progress, and good luck, Soldier, and I appreciate your time.
No problem, thank you.